Welcome to another exciting episode on the Multiple Bed Show with your host, Queen Okwechi. Today, I will be sharing with you some tips that would help you during your pregnancy and after your pregnancy. This is all about you looking after yourself. Now, a lot of people do ask me, how did you manage to shed all that baby weight knowing that you had multiple births? What were you doing? Now I will be telling you all about what I did that made me lose those weight in a short time. And you could see some of my pictures out here as well. Now, some of the tips that I'll be giving you today is from the time that you conceive, from the time that you are pregnant. It is very important that you watch what you eat. Now, there's this cliche where a lot of people do say, I'm eating for 2, I'm eating for 3, or for 4. Now, remember that while you're pregnant, your body begins to adjust to accommodate that baby. So you might add a few pounds. Now, if you're very conscious on what you're putting into that body, then that pounds might not just be a lot for you to shed once the baby is out. Now, this is what I did. I substituted a lot of the food that I was meant to be eating for healthy snacks and for fruits, and I drank a lot of water. So while I was quite hungry when I was carrying the multiple kids, my triplets, it was slightly different when I was carrying Samuel, my first child. So while I was hungry, rather than going and gathering all that calories or the carbs, I was having more of fruits and vegetable. Now, there was something I was doing, which obviously I had to check with the doctor. I was having a lot of ice in milk and I was just drinking that. And that was able to keep me hydrated and not even make me too hungry. Now, a lot of you might say, oh, that's what works for you. That doesn't work for everyone. But hang on there. Because remember, it's what you feed into your body that your body will accommodate. There's something I read about when you have a craving for something. Someone did write, take 15 minutes, have a glass of water, have your rest, and that when you come back, that craving goes away. Now, I don't know how true that is, but you can try that. But what am I saying in essence? Just try as much as possible to not have that mindset that I'm eating for 2 or 3. Take the same amount of food you eat for yourself, and your baby would take the one that they need in there. Because a lot of women, once they've had that baby, they start losing self-worth because they feel, oh, I'm now obese, or I'm now too fat. Now, from the onset, when I realized that I was expecting multiple births, now having diagnosed of polycystic ovaries, I went and I did a few research. And one of the things I found out was that people that have polycystic ovaries tend to suffer from obesity. Now, I know the family that I come from, and I know that obviously we didn't have that much when in terms of adding a lot of weight and all that stuff wasn't there. But however, I still had to monitor what I was eating, what I was drinking. Now, I've just put forward my picture of when I was carrying the triplets. A lot of people saw me and they could just see that I had just that bump out there. I didn't put up a lot of weight because of what I was eating. Now, if you're hungry, constantly hungry, substitute that for a little snack. Have fruits, have yogurt. You could have like yogurt with some berries inside. You could have a little snack. You could have biscuits as well. You could even have just like a healthy freshly squeezed juice. It could be apple juice or it could be orange juice. Now, you don't always have to go in and accommodate that carbohydrate because losing that becomes a lot of work. Now, some of the things that helped me was I made it a habit to have mixed nuts. I had it in my table, so every time I was at work, I was having that nuts because it's quite good for me as well. It's quite rich in fiber. So it was good for me. And so during the time of my pregnancy, I didn't really struggle with a lot of craving because I had trained my body on what amount of food it should take. This has to do with consistency. So don't just say, oh, I'm hungry, my body's hungry, I'm carrying multiple births, or I'm carrying a single child, so I just have to go to any closest food and eat. It's what you feed your brain with, that's what it gives back to you. So you have to be consistent in what you put into your body. Now, another thing that you would learn, which helped me as well after I had delivered my babies, was exercise. Now, some people would say, oh, I've put on a few flesh, I've put on a few weight, so I'm going to hit the gym. But hang on a minute, you've got new babies out there. You don't have that time to go to the gym. You can exercise anywhere you are. For me, my exercise was 100 jumps in the bathroom just before I have shower. And I go up and down the stairs 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening. That was my own form of exercise. I never registered in the gym. I didn't have that time to go to the gym. I had 4 kids under the age of 2 to look after. So even if I needed somebody to just come and help me out, I won't have that much time to go hit the gym. So if you've noticed that you've delivered a baby, you've got a few pounds, you want to shed that pound, and you don't have that time to go to the gym, you still have to do a few things. You can still go for a walk. So if you've got your partner at home, your partner can stay with the kids, you can go for a walk, you could go down the stairs, you could do a jump like I do, or you could do like a little jog just around your building. So actually you have really no excuse as to why you can't shed that weight. Now, so many people would ask me, Queen, how come yours went quite quick? You lost your belly fat, you lost all of that. I'll tell you that as well. So in the African nation community, there is something we do, which I don't know if a lot of you do agree to that, but it kind of worked out for me. So when a mom delivers a baby, we tend to get either a mother-in-law or someone quite older to come and use a hot towel to press on that tummy. Now, I did that for my first son, and I also did that for my multiples. So my mom was around, so she used the hot towel and pressed on my tummy. So she did that for 5 days every morning before I have like a proper shower, and I felt like that did a lot of good for me. And also breastfeeding. For my first son, I did exclusive. So exclusive breastfeeding kind of helped me lose that tummy weight. Constantly having him have exclusive milk from myself, no water, nothing. So the more he was having that milk, I was feeling my tummy going in. Now, I stopped a lot of carbs from 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm only telling you what I did that worked for me. I stopped a lot of carb from 6 o'clock in the evening, and I just concentrated on having quite light food, more like the yogurt I said to you. I'll just have it a little bit at night. And I drank a lot of malt. I don't know if you know what malt that is, but I had malt Guinness, and that gave me a few strengths that I actually needed at that time. Now, everyone is different in terms of your body weight, your body statistics, and genetic, but it's actually the effort that you actually put in that would give you the results that you demand. Now, if you look at yourself and you go, I'm not happy with the way I am, I'm putting on a bit of flesh, or I'm not happy with the way I look, you definitely have to do something about it. I spoke to a lady that I met in the hospital during the time of my health visits that I was doing with the kids. And she said to me, I don't think I have that confidence again to go and talk to people in public. I feel like I'm overweight, I'm not happy. So one of the questions I said to her was, why put yourself in this sort of position? If you're not happy with the way you look, what are you doing about it? And that's what I'm saying to you today. If you're not happy with the way you are looking, continue to do something about it. Don't just leave it there. Don't just give up. Be consistent. If you're exercising, continue to exercise. If you're cutting down on your calories, that's fine, because in its time, the result will show forth. Now, another tip for you as well to continue to look good and look fresh is asking for help. Now, a lot of people want to be the super mom, want to do everything by themselves. But you need to be healthy to actually look after those kids. Rest. Ask somebody to help you. Sometimes I would pick up my phone and call my sisters and go, can you just come and help me out with these babies? Ask somebody for help. Don't do everything all by yourself. Now, some of you might say, oh, I live alone, I don't have anyone, can't everyone. Put your baby in a buggy and take your baby to a play center. Because while the baby is there playing and you're chatting with other mom, you're relaxing as well. It's not like you're constantly at home, changing diapers, doing everything. You would see 1 or 2 moms that will be out there to help you. And you would even have time to interact with other moms, to learn a few bits on how to look after yourself. You need that rest. You need that help. If you don't ask for it, sometimes people would not offer. Ask for help. If your partner is working, you could rotate in terms of take it in turns. Get him to look after the babies while you have a little nap. While you're feeling a little stronger and well rested, your partner can then have his own nap while you rest. It is important to always think about your health. It's important to always think about your well-being. Now, you heard one of my guests say to you how she almost went into postnatal depression because she thought she could do it all by herself. And this is what I will be saying to you. Are you a new mom out there? Or are you pregnant and you want to know the few bits on how to look after your kids? This is what you should be doing. Have that time, that myself moment where you look after yourself. You have a little bit of rest. You have a little bit of pampering. Have somebody to look after your kids. Go out a little bit, even if it's just for 30 minutes, even just for an hour. Just have that fresh air. Just have that rest that you need. Just have that yourself moment. Because I would remember myself when I felt it was just too much for me. And I had to call my mom and I said, Mom, please come down. And I went away. I went away for a few days and came back. And I felt refreshed. I felt energized. I felt happy. And I was ready to look after my kids again. So sometimes we mom out there, yes, we're strong. Yes, we're energetic. Yes, we're there. We're the super mom, super strong. But there are times where you need to have your moment, your own time, where you need to have that rest, where you need to have that relationship, where you want to chat with your friends, where you want to go out and talk to other moms and actually learn a few bits. Watch TV, do something that is not just baby, 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 and you forget about yourself. And before you realize yourself, you find out that you're already drained. You're overweight because you're eating to substitute for the stress, or you're doing something that is not just right, or something that is not just working for you. There are so many helps out there. If you need help, you could always call. There's so many contact centers out there. Newly pregnant or just had a baby, overweight, stressed about the whole situation, and you don't know what to do. Just take a few tips of what I've said to you. Rest when you can. I know it's not easy. I have been there. Rest. Eat healthy. You don't have to eat all the time. Exercise. You don't remember? You don't have to go to the gym if you don't have that time. Exercise to the best of your ability. Seek for help. Interact with other moms in other playground. And I tell you, you'll find that you'll be happier, healthier, and super excited about yourself. I remain your host, Queen Okpechi. Remember, you can still contact me on the details below. If you have questions on this episode or previous episodes that we've actually run here, do contact me through emails, texts, and I will be more than happy to answer that. continue to share. Have a lovely day. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. And share to other friends. Share and share and keep sharing. Thank you. I remain your host, Queen